Thank you very much. Tēnā katoa katoa. Nā mai haere mai ki te hui tō patupatu, mō te toru o Ikaroa Rāwhiti. I runga I te puaka whakata tu whitu. Ko Rawdon Christie, aho. Good evening and welcome to this first Swing Seats debate on TVNZ7. I'm Rawdon Christie. We're in Gisborne in the Māori seat of Ikaroa Rāwhiti. It's a big one. It stretches from Wainui-a-Mata, just out of Wellington, all the way up the east coast to East Cape. Currently, it's held by Labour, but the Māori Party believe they can win it. By all accounts, it's very close. It could go either way. This is a swing seat. We're in the Lawson Field Theatre in Gisborne tonight. We've an invited audience with supporters from both the Labour Party and Māori Party, as well as local people with a real interest in this debate. And joining me as host tonight is Wallace Chapman from TVNZ's 7 show Backbenchers. Good evening, Wallace.
Rawdon, thanks very much for inviting me. Now, it's a real pleasure to be here, and we've had a number of questions. We're going to come to those a bit later on, but Rawdon, listen to this. Māori Party, give it up for Derek Fox supporters. But listen to this. Parekura Horomia supporters for Labour. Yeah! Look at that! Beautiful, the red. And it's also really good, Rawdon, to see a lot of young people here tonight, so very, very good. Before we get into it, though, I want to say a welcome and greetings to the Gisborne Mayor, Ming Foon. Welcome.
Tēnā koe Wallace, and nau mai hara mai koutou ki tēnei te whare Lawson Field, mō tēnei wā taupatupatu, me ki te mihi ki a Parekura, rāua ko Derek, kia kaha kōrua, kaha kōrua he puta he whakaro, hei hapai tātou ngā whānau o tēnei roa he Ikaroa Rāwhiti, piki mai, kake mai.
Ming, you're not only fluent in Mandarin, but Māori, you're some kind of genius.
A little bit of a genius.
Rawdon.
All right, thanks very much. Puts my Māori to shame. And now for the point we're all here for, and that is for the candidates. So let's meet them. From the Māori Party, 61-year-old broadcaster, publisher, and former mayor of Wairoa, Derek Fox.
I couldn't conceive of standing anywhere else other than in Ikaroa Rāwhiti because it's my home. I mean, the two ends of the electorate I whakapapa to, one in the northern part on my father's side to Ngāti Porou, and on the southern side to Ngāti Kahungunu, which is where my mother comes from. It's where I grew up as a child. My home is still at Mahia. So all of those things are important to me. I was the mayor of Wairoa for 6 years, and so I'm sort of aware of how things operate at that particular level. If you like, that's where I cut my political teeth. I think that this election is got to be the most interesting one and the most important one for Māori since voting began in this country. For the first time, if Māori vote for the Māori Party and elect all 7 Māori MPs and maybe some off the roll, the list as well, then Māori will get to determine who gets to form the next government, and it's important. Because quite often the Māori point of view on any particular issue is very different from the Pākehā point of view or the mainstream point of view, and quite often that view gets lost.
All right, there's no doubt in the importance of the election in this seat, but in a minute or so, Derek Fox, can you just please tell us why you think you should be the MP for Ikaroa Rāwhiti?
Well, I think the seat should be held by a Māori person. I happen to be the candidate at this particular time. Look, Māori have spent a lot of time having someone else telling them what to do, when and how, and it's time.
All right, Derek, I'm sorry, we're going to have to interrupt there because we've got a bit of a sound issue with your mic. I will very shortly. If we can just get the hand mic to Derek Fox, that'll be great, so we could just hear again from you, Derek, as to why you think you should be here.
Well, I think I should be the MP, or rather this seat should be held by the Māori Party, because for a long time we've had other people telling us what to do. We've had other people determining what's good for us and what we should be grateful for. On the other hand, I think it's time. We're grown up now, and we should be standing on our own feet politically. And in any case, I don't think we should really be supporting a group of people who voted away our rights to the foreshore and seabed, who legislated against our ability to go to court and debate those rights, who decided not to sign the Declaration of supporting Indigenous peoples, and who voted to take the treaty out of all legislation.
Well, we'll be coming to those various issues. And to meet the man who you will be debating against, from Labour, 57-year-old former civil servant and current Minister of Māori Affairs, Parekura Horomia.
The different communities within it that makes it a marvellous electorate. And if you take into account that 99% of people my age are children of manual labourers, so all we've had to see and mirror behind us people working in factories, sharing sheds, freezing works on the wharf. And what we've got now is a generation that's moving on, that's pretty smart. The majority and literally all of Māori kids between the age of 5 to 18 understand the advent of digitalisation, and that's, you know, the new arena in job opportunities, you know, getting into business like the arts and crafts area. You wouldn't have thought it 4 or 5 years ago. Tamaki tours, whale watch, those things that were community collectives. And, you know, Art Deco in this place happened through community development. It didn't happen from some big high corporate pitch. The political performers have to be on top of their game to make sure that they can maintain and give what Māori needs. And I think we've done pretty well.
Parekura, I gave Derek Fox the opportunity to explain why he should be the MP here. Why do you think you should be keeping your seat?
Well, I think I've done the last 3 terms, and certainly you get clearer experience being in government, being the government. And one thing I've learned about politics and government is that you've got to be at the cabinet table to make decisions for your region. And on top of that, I've been very clear in those things that are relevant to our whānau as a whole, not segregating off any sections of that. And I want to make sure that our people are upskilled, reskilled if need be, to make sure that they have a different future than they have in the past. And I think as a government we've done pretty well. You know, there are things that people haven't liked, but there certainly are things that we know have impacted and created a better lot for our people, Māori.
How important is it, Parekura Horomia, to see as much Māori representation in Parliament as possible?
Oh, I think it's very, very important. It's critical, actually.
So given that this is a high-stakes seat for Māori, surely a win for Derek Fox would be a good thing to increase that representation?
Oh, I think you can increase the representation in different ways too. And I don't want any partnership that John Key is leading the government, and that's the indication at the end of the day. If I win the seat, and hopefully Labour gets through, then we're in government and we're driving.
Well, Derek Fox, winning this seat is effectively the only way for Māori Party to increase its stake in Parliament. That puts a lot of pressure on your shoulders here.
Yes, it does, but I think people need to try and think about what's happened in the last 3 terms. I know that my whanaunga here will tell you that things are a lot better, and so they should be, because the government has enjoyed an unprecedented run in terms of economic development in the last decade. But in fact, Māori have gone backwards. Māori are earning less per week now than the difference between Māori and non-Māori is greater now than it was before. Māori families in this area earn $15,000 a year less than other families, and all of that puts them in a terrific poverty sort of trap. I'm sure he's going to tell us that unemployment is down, but in fact Māori are still 3 times more unemployed than Pākehā. So I don't see the great gains that they talk about.
We will have the opportunity to get more into the specifics of the economy later. I just wanted to ask you, Parekura Horomia has got a backing of the Labour, a very popular Labour Party here, so how hard will it be for you to win the seat?
Well, I'm not